So the basic tools and ingredients that you will need will be a silicone spatula. Silicone is preferred because sugar does boil up to high degrees of temperature and silicone will not burn easily. I've also got a sheet pan here which I have lined with aluminium foil, and I've lightly sprayed that with cooking oil. If you don't have cooking spray, you can always drizzle a bit of vegetable oil on it and just spread it out. This will be easy later when you have your candy on it, so it'll be easier to peel the candy off. I've also got a saucepan. In this saucepan I've got 2 cups granulated sugar, 3/4 cups of glucose syrup, and half a cup of water. That's all you need, 3 ingredients, and of course blue coloring, blue food coloring, because we're making crystal meth, and of course we want it to look like ice, right? Drizzle that into the water. Okay, you can actually see it start to form strings in the water, and if you put your finger in there and pick it up, what you will get is a ball of sugar like that. Okay, now this is pliable. I've got blue all over my fingers, I'm sorry about that, just working with that, darn it. Anyway, I've got a piece of sugar here that can act, it's actually pliable, and I can actually move and make shapes within my fingers. Now this is called soft crack. You don't want it to be at this stage, so you're gonna need the sugar to boil a little longer. Okay guys, so I've just dropped in a little bit more, and you get something like that. If you can look, if you can see it clearly. Now if I were to bend this, it's quite difficult to do it with one hand, but if I were to actually bend it and snap it, it snaps straight into 2 pieces because it's nice and hard. Can you hear that? Okay, that's the kind of crunch you want. When it gets to that level, turn the fire off, because the thing with sugar is it will continue to cook even after the fire has been turned off. Most of the bubbles have disappeared. You can add in your food coloring. Now the thing with food coloring is add in a little bit at a time, because if you add a little bit you can always add more, but more than that you cannot go back to the desired color that you want. I just want a tinge of blue, so I'm just going to put a drop in. That should do it for now. Give this a mix. You'll see this starting to slowly boil up again. Okay, that's about it. That's the color I need. Basically, crystal meth is something that is like ice, almost see-through when you break into it. I've got my sheet pan that I've popped into the freezer earlier. Got that out, and what you're going to do right now is drizzle the hot sugar in a thin layer all over. Be very careful. Spread out as evenly as possible. Alright guys, so this is hardened up quite nicely. Get any utensils in the kitchen that has a nice hard edge to it. I'm using this thing, I don't know what it's called in English. Neither do I know what it's called in any other language. But yep, mom has one in the kitchen, so I'm using this. I'm just going to basically have fun smashing the life out of it. And you've got some pretty awesome Breaking Bad stuff going on here. Okay, so if you peel this off, it's gonna crack up into little shards of glass, right? And what you will end up with is pieces of what would look like crystal meth. Of course, you need to break it up a lot more.